we need to talk about France, because I think they are going to win this World Cup, and I want to show you exactly why. To understand this France team, you need to understand one man first, Didier Deschamps. He won the World Cup as a player in 98, and then he came back as a manager and won it again in 2018. That almost never happens in football, and this summer he is doing it one last time, because this is his final tournament. He confirmed it. 40 years as a France manager, and he wants to end it with a trophy. So let's go back at it. 98, France at home. Zidane scores 2 headers in the final. France beats Brazil 3-0. The whole country goes crazy. A generation of kids falls in love with football that night. Then 2018, Russia. Deschamps builds a team that is solid and organized first. A lot of people criticized him for that. They said France were boring, said he was wasting the talent, but they won 4-2 against Croatia in the final. Mbappé became the second teenager after Pelé to score in the World Cup final. The critics went quiet. Then 2022, they lost Benzema before the tournament, lost Pogba, lost Kanté through injury, and they still made the final. Mbappé scored a hat-trick in the final, and they still lost on penalties to Argentina. That is just cruel, but think about it. That squad was missing so many key players, and they still made it to the final. That tells you everything about how well Deschamps has built this team. Now, let me explain how France actually play, because the system is important. France don't try to dominate the ball like Spain, they do something different. They sit compact, they stay organized, they make it hard for you to play. Then, the moment they win the ball back, they go fast, really fast. Mbappé positions himself high and wide when France don't have the ball. So the second France win it back, he's already running in behind. The counter is basically set up before they even have the ball. That is not an accident, that is something Deschamps has built over years, and it works. Right. Let's talk about the squad. Starting in goal, Maignan, one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. He missed the last World Cup through injury, so this is the first real tournament for him. The defense, Saliba and Konaté as center backs. Saliba this season was probably the best center back in the Premier League. Calm, clever, barely made a mistake all year. Konaté next to him is just a physical monster, but technical too. And then Theo Hernandez at left back. This guy doesn't defend, he attacks, he gets forward, he scores, he creates. Having a left back that good makes the whole team better. Now the midfield. France don't have a midfield that dominates with the ball like Spain, but they have something different. They have balance. Kanté first, 35 years old, playing in Turkey, and Deschamps still called him up, because when you watch it, you understand immediately why. Nobody wins the ball like Kanté. Nobody covers the ground he covers. When Kanté plays, France are just harder to break down. More compact, more organized. He's the vice-captain of the squad, and his experience calms everything around him. At 35, still doing that at a World Cup, that is special. Then Tchouaméni next to him. Big, physical, he breaks up play. He protects the defense, he lets Kanté do his thing. Those two together is a really solid combination. And then Zaire Emery, 20 years old, just won the Champions League with PSG, already playing for France like he has been there for years. This kid is just different, so calm for his age, so mature. If you are enjoying this video, subscribe and drop a like, so you don't miss any. But now let's keep it going. And then the attack. And this is where France just become unfair. Mbappé, Dembélé, Olise, Doué, Cherki, Thuram. Let me start with Dembélé, because this guy right now is the best form in his life. For years people said he was inconsistent, injury prone, hard to manage, and then he went to PSG and something clicked. He just had one of the best individual seasons in European football. Champions League winner, Ballon d'Or winner, and before this World Cup he said it to himself. France have a mission in the US and they are going to be ready. I believe him, because right now Dembélé is playing very well. And then Mbappé, 12 goals in 14 World Cup matches. In the final in 2018, in the final in 22, he has unfinished business. Everyone knows it, he knows it. And the crazy part about Mbappé is he makes France better even before the game starts. Opponents have to prepare for him differently. They have to decide how to deal with his pace, his positioning, his runs. And while they are thinking about that, Dembélé and Olise and everyone else are doing damage. He makes the whole system works better just by being on the pitch. And then the depth, Olise, Doué, Cherki coming off bench. If the game is level at 70 minutes and France needs a goal, Deschamps has options that most managers at this tournament can only dream about. So that's my take on France. Best defensive structure at this tournament, one of the most dangerous attack in the World Cup history, a system that has worked, that has won, that keeps making finals, and a manager doing it one last time. If they win this World Cup, Deschamps becomes the greatest manager in French football history, and I think they can do it. Drop your take in the comment. Do France win this World Cup or not? See you in the next one, and follow for more.